This is John Paul Ryan. I'm coming from Tokyo, Japan, and I'm talking about the Rise of Skywalker poster and how apparently Disney put in some phallic symbol. It looks like Rey and Kylo are standing on a giant you-know-what. And the thing is, this should come as no surprise because Disney has done this in the past. There's a really good video on Disney doing that in the past on a channel called Top 10 Daily. I will link that below, but we only really need that one example that I think many of us remember from The Little Mermaid. In The Little Mermaid poster, it looked like there were gold dildos, and now it looks like Kylo and Rey are fighting on top of a droid you-know-what. So, there's not so much I could say about this without actually going through the whole video and giving you guys 10 examples of how Disney did it in the past. There was one that stuck out in some mouse cartoon where they're going on a sleigh ride and you could see a naked lady in the window pretty clearly, not fully naked, but you see her top, she's naked on top, and it's not really exactly something you want to see in a kiddie movie with mouses, riding on sleighs and stuff like that. So there's a couple of examples like that, lesser known examples, but Disney has done stuff like this. We know there are people in Disney who apparently like to put phallic symbols in their movies that have nothing to do with phallic symbols or sexuality, but wait, it looks like they do have some kind of fetish with sexuality these days in Hollywood about gender, who does what, standing up for rights of LGBT. I know, I always get that wrong. It's like a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, but you know what I mean. The folk who are not straight, put it nicely. Okay, anyway, the thing is, it seems to me that Disney is deliberately trying to ruin Star Wars for the old fans, and they've stated this kill the past, but I didn't really know how hard they were going with this theme. And I had a friend of mine come over, friend of my wife actually, he happens to be a YouTuber, nothing to do with what I do, he does like old retro games and stuff. He hasn't seen the Disney Star Wars movies. And I was like, okay, that's good. Yeah, don't see him. I'd recommend not showing your kids those movies if you want to get them into Star Wars or something. Show them the older ones. He was like, yeah, just kind of cool about it. He didn't really think about it so much. But he said, yeah, it looks like, they're trying to ruin the old franchises so the old fans don't come back. And the thing is, they're really doing everything they possibly can so the fan base that was, let's say, 80s, 90s, grew up with it, and maybe even some of the prequels. We'll see what happens with Kenobi. I mean, some of the prequel fans are going to be like so turned off that they're going to come out with something new and people aren't going to be interested in Star Wars, okay? So the theory is kill Star Wars, then we're going to introduce our new awesome stuff. Until I heard that theory, I wasn't like exactly sure, well, why would they want to do that? Why don't they just keep all the old fans? Which still makes sense, because there's still money to be made, plenty of money to be made with those old fans, billions and billions and billions, but when you put it that way, they bought Star Wars, and maybe they're buying things out to ruin them, and now they can put their new things in the spotlight. That's just a business practice. It's a business practice in the music industry. It's a very controversial topic. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to say it. Maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. They'll deliberately ruin a musician's career because, that musician's getting a little older, but they're still popular. So they're still sucking away attention from the newer, 20-year-old up-and-coming musicians. So they move the 50-year-old one out of the spotlight. I think I just kicked the lampstand here. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, so they move like an older one out of the spotlight so the newer ones could sell more albums and take more of the attention. And in the same way, that's what they're doing with Star Wars, maybe Marvel, I don't know. I said Marvel, not 100%ly functioning here. Okay, maybe Marvel, and what they're doing is they want to introduce something new. That's yet to be seen. I don't know. That's up in the air. It's in the future. This is a theory, but that's the one thing I could see would make some strange sense. Short term, it doesn't make sense. But long term, and they seem to be thinking long term, I think that's what they could be doing. So, getting back to the poster, maybe they're just doing every little stupid jackass thing to turn off fans. I mean, look at the thing for yourself. What does it look like to you? You could see some distinct shapes. There's a couple of other shapes in there that kind of maybe hide it out or maybe try to blur the image, but it's real clear. So if I was arguing with somebody who is defending the sequel trilogies and they're saying, no, you're seeing things, well, we're going to have to get a bunch of different opinions. We could get opinions from people who aren't even Star Wars fans. We could get opinions from people who never heard about Star Wars in this case. So my point is, I mean, it's either there or it isn't, and it looks like it's there. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments. I'm doing shout outs, special thanks, things like that. See you next time.